For anyone who has followed the evolution of Outward since its release in 2019, you might have seen a few comments like this one. But what really lets the game down entirely is the combat. It's just far too poorly put together. I've read many reviews of people saying that the combat is hard, but it's not hard like Dark Souls, which I've played plenty of and loved. It's hard because it's badly done. It feels like it wanted to be Dark Souls, but they just didn't have the skill to make the combat as crisp and as clean as it needs to be for such a system to feel fair and rewarding. Dark Souls has sparked many controversies about its difficulty, and yet it seems like some Dark Souls players cannot beat Outward and end up quitting and leaving a bad review. First of all, I would like to say that no game is perfect, and I myself have already emitted a few criticism on Outward, despite it being one of my favorite games of all time. I would never dare to call myself a Souls veteran, as I have only played Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring. That being said, I can still tell you that I have a deep interest of the game's lore and aesthetics. The difficulty controversy has gravitated around the Souls games for quite some time now. Some people argue that they would want an easy mode added into the game. I won't go too far into it, but I'm one of those that think difficulty is part of the game's identity and philosophy, and that removing it would alter the game too much. I also happen to be quite good at abusing things and modifying the game's difficulty by building accordingly. Dark Souls players defending the game's difficulty often use these arguments, stating that the difficulty is part of the experience and the general atmosphere of the game, giving every player a chance to overcome the same obstacle. They also generally say that this game is not for everyone, and on that I agree. No commercial product is ever made for everyone. Some are made for more people than others, that is for sure, but some are made for a specific audience. To those who argue that games should be made for everyone, I ask this question. Should we try to make horror movies for everyone? We all have different tastes and feelings, and should be ready to accept that we do not like some things. But I digress from the point of this video. What I think happens when some Dark Souls players pick up Outward, and I only mean some players, as Dark Souls players who have also enjoyed Outward far outnumber them, is that they think they can approach any game like they approach Dark Souls, as long as there is a dodge roll and a lock-on system. They refuse to go back to the learning stage, because when you enter once again the learning stage, you also begin to learn the rules anew, and that is why some Dark Souls players fail at Outward. Outward is not really a Souls-like. While Souls games rely a lot on muscle memory and reaction time, with generally clear attack wind-ups and a fast regenerating stamina bar, Outward requires a different mindset. Outward's combat and gameplay in general is about preparation and anticipation. Have you ever seen an experienced Outward player prepare for a fight? Outward combat is unfair but in both ways. This means you can beat enemies while they struggle to get up. You can constantly stagger any boss. You can fill an entire room with traps and decide that you simply do not want to play against this monster. Outward is an adventure simulator. You are literally no one. Not a chosen undead. Not a tarnished. Nothing. The only thing you own through your blood are debts. You are not a fighter, at least in the beginning. You are a peasant. Would you expect a random farm worker to defeat bandits who have spent their lives in crimes immediately? Of course not. For that, you have to work, train, and overcome the obstacles with knowledge and experience. I have quickly mentioned that in my video on Outward's rock mantises. If you've already encountered them before, you'll likely spot them in the distance and avoid the ambush. This is Outward. Outward is a game for patient and resilient warriors who are all ready to do anything to overcome the obstacles. My real point is that the two games have different philosophies, and that you should not expect them to play the same way. You can beat Outward with an Excel sheet. It is literally a game where you can become immune to a damage type. Now again, some people might not like a game, but do not call it trash before trying to learn. I want to end this video on a more positive note. I am mainly making it because I love the Souls games and Outward. I think that these two games offer different things, and it would be unfair for both games to make such comparisons. I am of course open to any discussion, as long as it remains civil. Feel free to share your constructive opinion in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.
And look at Randy Orton slithering.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
KO! Here's the cover, hook of the line, and the legend killer picks up the victory.